So take a nice full breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And again. And gently close your eyes and let your heart open as you feel that quality of love filling the room, as the vessels that we all are begin to receive an opening and the possibility of what comes for you with these messages. So bring the breath into the body again and let it circulate around inside, creating an opening for love and familiarity, feeling the love that you are, remembering each one of you, that time and place when your soul was alive with that feeling of love, that it was the mana of who you were. And let that remembrance follow you right into this room, into this chair, and into these moments and messages of love.
So it is a good day to you, huh? Oh, very good to see your energy, your light, your brightness, your radiance. We need sunglasses. The room is so bright to look upon you, dearest beings of light. We introduce ourselves to some of you, and maybe some of you don't know who we are. We are Adironnda, a being that came here just for your fun, your evolution. You see, on this planet, many things have changed in the last few years since 2012. Huh? It is nice that dearest Lee rode us into that segue for our information for you today. You see, in 2012, everything shifted. Before 2012, you were creating your environment. Huh? Now, you are creating the experience of your environment. You know, sometimes people say, well, why would I create a car wreck? Why would I create cancer? Why would I create disease? Why would I create my husband? Why would I create my wife? You understand? But you are creating that experience so you can evolve. That is what we are doing here. We are activating, assisting, accelerating your evolutionary pattern, your evolutionary chain, your evolutionary information. Because you are the way showers of this planet, yes? You are the enlightened ones. So we want you to think about how you are within that energy of evolution. So take a deep breath and just breathe into your pineal gland. If you don't know where your pineal gland, it is in the center of your brain, this teeny tiny little thing that looks a bit like a pine cone. So breathe into your own pineal gland. We hold the space so each of you can visualize that. And as you do, we're just going to activate each one of your little pineal glands so they will bring you your messages, your higher self, your connection to source in a greater way so you can consciously understand at your core level that you are experiencing God, the source of all that is, the source of you, every moment of every day, every existence, every breath you take is the breath of you, yes? It is also the breath of all that is. So when you think of yourself of breathing in that energy that may not be quite so much fun, Ask yourself, well, why are you choosing to experience this creation in this capacity? Instead, let us activate your quantum pineal. And as your quantum pineal is activated, you're stepping into your true self, your true nature, your true spirit. And you get the opportunity to just, if there's little things that you want to shift about yourself, as you take another deep breath, and on the exhale, just breathe that out and let them fall away. Because you are the quantum field of the universe. You are the next evolutionary step. We hold each of you in that state of unconditional love. So you can feel that love within yourself. So you can hold that as you gain perfect health. So you can hold that as you gain the wisdom of the ages coming through to you. So you can hold that essence in such a way that your heart expands. Your love expands. Your wisdom expands. Your connection to you expands. Because that connection is not something that you can turn off and on. You can only resist it. And then that connection gets a bit stronger. So understand, you are you. Congratulations for that. You showed up. You've already done the hard part, huh? You showed up for this time, this age, this planet, this little planet. And you are willing to be the difference that you wish to see in the world. It is our job to help you know you more than you know anything else. And once you know you, you can always be you. And when you be you, then you know that you are you. And you know that as you come through you, everything is perfect. Yes? Take a deep breath. We are experiencing your radiant perfection. And we are reflecting it back to you. Dearest beings of light, we love you so much. We honor who you are for coming here on this planet. We trust you. And we hold the space for you to learn to trust you too. We love you deeply. We bid you namaste. Namaste.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. I want to give you today, in these short moments, the details of a process you may not be aware of. It involves every single one of you. Those in the room, those listening, all have something in common. If you're here on purpose, that is to say, it was your idea to be here, you're an old soul. It's also not a coincidence if you're here because someone asked you to be here and you came. You're a closet old soul. At some level, you know how things work. In fact, it's the knowing how things work that keep others away from here. Because they've made up their mind they don't need this. And many of them don't. Fully equipped to go through the shift, they are. But there are attributes you should know that we have not really discussed before. You're here at the right time, in the right place, at the right age, called an old soul. Whether you're a male or a female, this is the perfect time for you. You have come during this shift. You have come to do, are you ready for the term, the heavy lifting? Now, we're going to talk about that later in the second channel. But right now, I would like to give you a principle, an attribute of the energy post-shift that you haven't really seen before. You are doing things right now that only selected wild cards could do in the past. Question, I'm going to ask it all day long. Do you believe that your actions and your consciousness changes things in other areas? And if you are one who has studied that which you call beyond physics, metaphysics, it is the staple of belief that consciousness is energy, measurable, and it changed things, not just with you, but in other places all around the globe. This is the power of an old soul who has been on the planet perhaps thousands of times, has learned what the planet has to teach, what the masters have to teach. We have told you over and over that because you only work at less than 50% when you're born, your DNA is not active more than 50%, you don't remember. You don't remember your past lives. Many don't even believe in it on the planet. You don't remember what you learned, but it's all there. And as you live in this new energy, often some of it starts to awaken. And the awakening of what you've been through or what you've learned sometimes comes with a price. That is what you're studying. How to get through this. And what the heavy lifting that some of you are going through really means to the planet. Imagine if all the old souls on the planet played a wild card role. That is to say, past the shift, what you're going through now starts to change the planet itself. And you are the catalyst for the change. For some of you, you thought the shift into 2012, 2013, and beyond. Finally, there is light on the planet, not understanding that the darkness has come out to fight you. That's what has happened. The darkness is losing, and you are the target. Because you know better. Because you're the experienced ones. Because you have the equipment and the tools. You are the warriors, and those who are the old souls are the ones that are the targets. It's been a rough time since 2012 for many of you, thinking that it's going to be the best time. It's become the worst. And now you're starting to understand. You have the capacity to win this battle completely. But you are the ones chosen at this time to see it, realize it, and fight it. And fight it with not the tools that you had before, but the new ones. Compassionate action, positive thinking, affirmations, and a road that you pave with light no matter what is thrown at you. And that's going to work. And the darkness is going to come at you with all of the dark attributes. If we scare them, we will win. Oh, really? Not if you know that they're trying to scare you. If we put upon them too much, they'll give up. Oh, really? Not if they see that attribute and expect it coming. In the midst of turmoil, how many of you sit and smile and say, bring it on? Because there's nothing dark that can get through the light that I carry for this planet, because I am doing the heavy lifting. I want to tell you something you don't know. You really don't know. I want to talk about an old soul wild card and an old energy, Nikola Tesla. Now, the reason I'm going to bring this up is because there's someone here who that will relate to. See, I know who's here. Tesla was a wild card, and you see now how the world sees him. Amazing, brilliant inventor who gave us a system that is still not understandable by many who study electricity. The phase relationships that are complex, that circle around the creation of alternating current, was just one of many inventions that Tesla had and knew and could have presented to the planet, but was kept from it. He was here to give one thing, and yet the mind was ready for so much more. We have discussed this before. 3 other things he was working on that would have changed this planet forever, and it would have been too soon. Through phase relationships of magnetics that we have talked about for 29 years, you can change that which we will call the density or non-density of matter. You can design mass, creating weights and non-weights that you can control. You call it anti-gravity. There's no such thing. Massless objects are simply objects with controlled mass. Tesla was working on that. The way of communicating that we don't have now, the way of passing electricity without the wires, through the ground, by the way. None of those things were able to be put forward. And every time they were knocked down, Tesla was disappointed. He quickly realized that there were some technologies that he knew about that could not be controlled because you didn't have computers yet. Imagine how distressing it would be to you if you knew how things worked, but there was nothing that you could do because there was no control yet. Imagine if you knew how things worked and they were possible and doable, but all you needed was somebody to believe in you. And imagine when that somebody came forward, and then as soon as it started to come to fruition, that somebody shut you down. Imagine. Imagine being on your deathbed, looking back at your life and saying, this has been a disaster. Imagine lying there with only $5 in your pocket, with all that you did. This man did the heavy lifting. And at the time he was doing it, it was chaos for him. And now we look back. You can stand at the statue that was put in his name on the United States side of Niagara Falls. Something that he built with his forethought, ingenuity, elegance of science. Now I want to tell you something. Everything that you do right now has an imprint on this planet that stays. Every solution you have to problems that you are currently embracing is changing something else on the planet that you don't see and can't know about through the crystalline grid. Every bit of heavy lifting that you do, all the chaos, all of the distress, all the crying, all the weeping, all the why is me, is imprinting this planet in a beautiful, compassionate way. And it invites you, unlike Tesla, first of all, to survive it. And second of all, that while you're here, to start understanding it so you can fight it. You can fight it with light. You can win the battle with light instead of anger and distress. All of the things, little big, imprint the planet where somewhere else something is happening with your name on it that says this is what they did. I want to go forward for a moment. Transition of biology is inevitable. You will come back. And when you come back to an earth that has your name on it because you did the heavy lifting. An earth that you recognize, creating a couch for you to be on that is more aggressively enlightened and evolved than the one you left. And it has your name on it. It's almost like coming back to see the mountain that you built or the building that you constructed through the heavy lifting that you go through right now, old soul. There is purpose behind this. Don't despair. Understand that the Creator knows your name. Why you're here is obvious. Because you can do this. You may have even done it before on other planets. That's what the old soul is about right now. There are some of you who say, well, I don't have distress in my life. Maybe you're not talking about me. Oh, dear ones, I'll tell you, you are the warrior of light. You're the ones who hold the anchors for the others, who learn about them, help them, support them. You're in the troops along with them, being in the troops, in the trenches along with them in different ways. You're the ones that hold the light so they can send it. Everyone has a different task for the heavy lifting. But that's what's going on right now. Kryon, how long will this last? And the answer is yes. I said it before. It's going to go quickly if more of you understand what this is about. The battle will be over quickly when you understand darkness is not going to win this one. No matter what is presented, you're going to come out the other side with a sigh of relief. Do you hear me? You're going to come out the other side with a sigh of relief. And you'll say, wow, I never would have believed I got through that. Let the angels shine upon you right now with the realization that there will come that day. I beat it, you might say. It's over, you might say. I won, you might say. And oh, you be right. That's what the old soul is today. There's more. I'm going to give you some rules of heavy lifting a little later. And so it is.